What up, dudes and dudette? Just wanted to make a video about the little road trip we did yesterday. Ran up to West Yellowstone. So because of the whole COVID thing, they let us through the park, but they wouldn't let us stop. So that was kind of silly, but I don't know, whatever. We didn't have to pay, so that was cool. Anyways, put about 400 miles on it, something like that. It's pretty dirty, but thought I'd give you an update. It's got like 1,200 miles on it now. I'm just kind of trying to document the owner process through the ownership of the passport. So this is the 2020 Passport Elite. So for you guys that don't know, the Elite is the nicest one they make. The Touring is below it. So for the Passport, across the whole line, it gets the 280 horsepower V6. It's got 260 foot-pounds of torque. About a 19.5 fuel tank. And gets about 400 miles per tank, something like that. It's got the 9-speed transmission. You can actually get the gray, but I got the black just because that was the only one available to me. It's got the power lift gate with the kick in the back. So on our West Yellowstone trip, we got pretty good gas mileage. I would say I'd say somewhere between 25 and 30. For a while there, the fuel trip meter was saying like 35 miles per gallon through the park. Obviously, we couldn't keep that as soon as we started going over 60. But it still got about 25 miles to the gallon the whole time. And I thought that was pretty dang good for a vehicle that weighs over 4,000 pounds. So thought I'd just kind of go over how it road trips, some of the things that were nice and some of the things that were not so nice. So yesterday was the first time that I was able to go full throttle because I just kind of wanted to wait to 1,000 miles. I'm sure I could have done it over 500, but just thought I'd be a little bit nice to it. So over 1,000 miles, I went full throttle a couple times, and this V6 just really comes alive. It is just amazing. I don't know if I would say that it's a fast vehicle, but I've got the 2000 Silverado, and I'm pretty sure it'll smoke that. Silverado's got the 5.3 liter in it. So the fuel mileage was awesome. That was just one of the things I really wanted to talk about. Another thing was how wide this cabin is. You can see the console there. You could just fit a ton. I got a water bottle and some cables and stuff, but you could fit a ton in this thing. Lots of cargo room. It's got the rear heated seats, rear HVAC controls. One of the things that we didn't like was these seats. Either they're a little hard or they don't have enough padding. Haven't quite figured out which one it is, but we find the seats are just a little hard, just not super comfortable in the long run. So I basically bought this so I could basically just run around town. We probably only do maybe I don't know, handful of road trips a year. So probably, I don't know, 5. So for the most part, I don't care about the seats, but that's one thing that I kind of found that was annoying. The seats aren't exactly the most comfortable. You can see I've got 1,200 miles in this beast. It says 24.5 miles per gallon over that 1,200 miles. So that's not ridiculous, but I really see this mileage keep going up and up and up. It just keeps getting better and better. So I only drove like a half mile to this park, so that's why it says 10.9. But for the most part, this thing is doing awesome. Like, it is not uncommon to see 28, 29 miles to the gallon in this. It does a super good job. Yeah, it does a really good job. So, I talked in my other video about the econ mode, but the econ mode is actually pretty aggressive in this. It almost makes the vehicle lethargic off the line. It just is a little slow, but I actually think it's a good trade-off because it easily gets you, I would say, 3 to 5 miles per gallon better all the time. So I was doing about, on my last video on the 400 mile review, I was getting like 21, 22 miles to the gallon, but I've been using that econ mode a lot and it's continuously getting better than 25. So I thought that was just an excellent mile per gallon. I really thought it'd get closer to 21 maybe, especially being all-wheel drive. When you're driving, the IVTM mode here shows what wheels are getting power, and if you can keep the front 2 wheels just barely getting power, this thing will do like 30 miles to the gallon. It is really impressive. So yeah, I got about 1,200 miles on it. So one of the things we didn't like was the seats, of course. After that long road trip, we were kind of wishing we had some softer seats. We do, however, like this this head unit. This is pretty nice, actually. It's got the full Garmin navigation. It's really cool. Works pretty good. XM works good. All that stuff. So, and yesterday when we were getting over 25 miles per gallon, we were using the air conditioning off and on as well. So, so that was a nice relief. I talked about how the stop start was kind of a pain in the butt before, and it seems like the stop start is engaging more than it used to, which is good because I would like to be able to predict when it's going to come on and when it's not. Just makes it a little easier to drive. I did a video on my Silverado about the stop start, and the Silverado is just it's a little bit better than this. This seems to need to get warmer before the stop start comes on, but once it does come on, it'll stay on. Like if you come up to a red light, it'll actually shut off for probably a couple minutes. Versus my Silverado, when it comes on, it'll probably come on for a minute tops. But this one is a little nicer. When it comes on, it stays on for longer. Let's see, anything else that I didn't like about this? Not that I can think of. I like the clearance. A couple times we went down some camp roads that were bumpy and uneven and kind of joined the pavement at a pretty abrupt edge. So worked pretty good for that. I really like these lights. They work awesome. Super good. That's one of the reasons that I chose this over the CRV, because I was gonna get the EXL model of the CRV, but it didn't have these LEDs. And then I saw how much better these LEDs were. Then I also saw how much better this V6 is compared to the CRV, and also saw the towing capability of this was so much better than the CRV. So I'm glad I went with this. I wish that transmission was the 10-speed out of the Honda Accord. But this will have to do for now until they put the 10-speed in it. Anyways, the 400-mile trip to West Yellowstone went really well, and I'm looking forward to making a lot more videos. So if you guys like to see content on the Passport, make sure to subscribe. I'd like to get to that 1,000 subscribers, obviously, and then eventually I'd like to get some more vehicles for you guys. I think it's important that car reviewers spend a lot of time with cars, because there's a lot of things that that don't come up with the short time that they have. But when you start looking at owner reviews, you really start to dive into what it's like to live with the vehicle versus just, putting 100 or 200 miles on it. Anyways, if you've got any questions, hit me up in the comments. See ya.